All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedules to be here for the Voters' Rights Restoration Zoom call. We understand that during this time, um, with the global pandemic of COVID-19 that has plagued the entire world, that it's difficult for individuals to be able to meet face to face and be able to gather this information. And I would like to thank the Shelby County Election Commission and Miss Vicki Collins for taking time out of their busy schedule to go over the things that felons would need to do to restore their voters' rights. After Miss Vicki go over her list of things to do and she go over her instructions, we'll have a very small question and answer session that we'll go through. Thank my Director of Operations, Professor Owsley, for being on the line this afternoon, and he'll be handling all the things on the back end and the technical side for us. I do see others in attendance, Mr. Moore, Mrs. Davis. It's a pleasure to have you all with us on today. And hopefully this information is something that, if it's not something that you can use in your program to readily benefit someone, please share this information with someone who you know could utilize this information to live a more empowered life. Without further ado, Ms. Collins, I'm gonna go ahead and yield the floor to you. Ms. Vicki?
Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me? Am I on now?
There you go. Now I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So I am downtown at 157 Poplar. So anybody who needs to come and talk to me about their particular case, I'll be glad to help them with it. We're Suite 137. So basically, if your felony occurred in Shelby County after 1981, everybody would need to do the procedure that I'm getting ready to tell you. A lot of people think that if their felony occurred so long ago, it doesn't matter, but in Tennessee, it does. So the first thing you need to know is whether your offense is a state offense or a federal offense, because that depends where you go. So if it's in Shelby County and if it is a state offense, then you would go to 201 Poplar to the 3rd floor. And that is where the criminal court clerk's office is. And they will fill out a 1-page document called a certificate of restoration. In order to do this, they will check and make sure that all of your court costs, fines, and restitution are complete and paid off, done, everything is final. If it is, then they will go ahead and fill out this form. They will give it back, and I need that original form. And I'm right next door, I'm at 157. So you just take that form and bring it to me. So a lot of people get discouraged because they have a lot of court costs and they have a lot of fines, and they just feel like there's no way in the world that they could get these paid off. But there are people that pair you with a pro bono lawyer. If you're indigent, you can go back and file a motion to have those fines be taken away because you cannot pay for those. And they can also file a motion to go back and make those less, the fines be less, or to do scheduled payments. So there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts to that. So just because you have fines, we can still help you contact the right people. If it is a federal offense, then you would go to the federal building, but the same process. You would go to 167 North Main, and the federal probation officer will fill out the same form, the certificate of restoration, and again, they would give you back the original, and then you bring it to me. As soon as you bring it to me, I will have you fill out a voter registration card so that I have all your current information. I work with the state of Tennessee to approve your form that you gave me. And what the state does is they run your name through a database to make sure that there are no other felonies. If you have 20 felonies, it doesn't matter. They all need to be on the certificate of restoration, not just one. So they all have to be turned in. So when they run you through the database, they're basically making sure that everything is on this form and that there are no outstanding fines, court costs, no restitution. And then the very last thing that they do is they send your name over to child services to make sure that there is no outstanding child support. So you can have child support, but it can't be in arrears. And if all that comes back good, then they send me notification that you are good to go. And because I have a current registration form, I can go ahead, process it, send you your card in the mail. And I'll call you on the phone and say, if you don't receive it within a week, let me know. But basically, that's it. It gets a little more complicated if you have a felony in another county, if you have it in another state. Those are special circumstances that make the process even more difficult. But if it's in Shelby County, you're a lot better off.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Vicky. At this time, I'm gonna go over. I know that that was pretty plain and simple when it comes to the things that individuals are needing. Just wanted to hit on a couple of questions that I know that people will probably ask, or questions individuals would have when watching the video. And if anyone inside of the webinar have any questions, feel free to go ahead and hit the question and answer box, and we'll answer those questions as they come up. But I know that all felonies have to be, would have to go through this process. But I do also understand there are certain cases where individuals will not be able to get those rights back. And I think that when people look at the term murder, rape, I don't think treason is one that we see as often. But when you're dealing with murder and rape, it is broken down and categorized in so many different subcategories. I wanted to know if you don't mind, Ms. Vicky, just talking about those where we know for a fact these individuals would not be able to receive those rights back if their charge was one of the following.
Okay, so it actually goes by conviction on or after May 18th, 1981. So if you are never eligible to register or vote if you were convicted of, say, first-degree murder, aggravated rape, if you're after July 1st, 1986. If you are, so there is it all goes by date. So if it's after July 1st, 1996 to July 30th, 2006, those reasons would be voter fraud, treason, or any degree of murder or rape. after July 1st, 2006, it would be voter fraud, treason, any degree of murder or rape, certain felonies including bribery, misconduct involving public officials or employees, sexual offenses, or violent sexual offenses that are felonies where the victim was a minor. So, you know, basically what I do is whatever is filled out on that form, I don't really know whether it's going to be approved or not because I'm not a lawyer. And so I just send it to the state. And if it's not approved, then they cite the law book on what it is. Because I've had a lot of people be approved that had first degree murder. So I would recommend that it doesn't matter what the crime is. You should just go ahead, go through the process, and just see if you're eligible.
I agree. I agree. Thank you so much. When it comes to court costs and things of that nature, I know that you said earlier that there are different organizations and individuals that actually assist with those efforts. Would that be? I know that you said something about a pro bono lawyer, and wanted to know if you would go over that process just a little bit more for me for those individuals, because in the inner city, that's probably going to be the main deterrent
Right.
for most individuals. And I think it's going to be a twofold issue in the city of Memphis. It would be the court costs as well as the rearage when it comes to child support, unfortunately, in this area. So I'm wondering if a person deals with one and the other, is there a way that they can get both of those dealt with at the same time to be able to get those rights restored?
Well, there's no getting around the child support and arrears.
Right.
There's no getting around that. But you can file a motion to go back to court and declare yourself or somebody indigent. And then this will help with court costs if they can't do it. Amber Floyd, you may be familiar with her. She's a person that has helped people do this, and she's a lawyer here in Memphis. There's also someone named Linda Barnes that's with Chosen Vessel Ministries. There is also a website called 901legalconnect.org, and when you log on there, it gives you like a whole list of things to see if you qualify for them to pair you with a pro bono lawyer. So I would say most people would not qualify, but you never know, right? So you should just go and just try all the different avenues and see if one of them would work for you. There's also another lady with an organization called Restore Your Vote. Her name is Ashley Dowdwell, Daldwell. I think that's right. But anyway, she works with a lot of people getting their, pairing them with pro bono lawyers. So, you know, and there's lots of different, I would say when you contact all these different places, if they can't help you, ask them, do you know of anybody who can help me any further?
Right.
Because by the time that I've talked to them, they may have come across somebody else. So you never know. I would say don't give up, because there is a way if you try hard enough. You just can't give up.
And I think that's the most important part for these individuals, the aspect of not giving up. Because most of the time they are so accustomed to having doors that have been closed in their face, where opportunities seem like they're not opening up for them.